for that is we need to understand your financial position to advise accordingly, because everyone wants to be on classic comprehensive, of course, and everyone can be, but can you afford to be? So that is where our advice comes in, and that's where we will be asking those kind of tough questions. And we like to give holistic financial advice, so looking at all elements of your portfolio. So Shirley is also a qualified executor, so we wind up estates, also with the help of Estelle. Estelle, I'm going to make you come stand in my camera here. You're not gonna escape. And then obviously the invest side. So everything from your flexible investments, your short-term investments, to pre-retirement planning, post-retirement planning, all of that is what we do here at this office. I have mentioned some of our team members. We also have Lesedi and Lisa, who are missing in action tonight, but we're obviously thinking of them throughout this process. Okay, so discovery apps. This can also sometimes be a contentious issue because there are a few. One day we will have it consolidated and probably on the banking app. So I think what's important here is to make sure that each and every one of you, if you are on Discovery Health, whether you're a dependent, whether you're the main member, is to have a login profile. So register on the website if you've never registered. If you are having any issues, it's giving you this ID number doesn't match the cell phone, that is the number to call. So we do record the sessions, so you're most welcome to go back to our website and rewatch. If there's anything you think you might have missed, it will be available there and our blog section. So in this session, we are going to focus on the new Discovery Health app, which is the one that I made a little bit bigger. It is, how can I say, the darker blue, but with the white inside, bit similar to the Insure app, but that's also getting revised at the end of the year. So hopefully there'll be quite a distinct difference. Okay. And just for interest's sake, do you all know what plan you are on currently with Discovery Health? Yes. Okay. Who am I going to pick on? Me? What plan are you on?
Classic.
Classic?
No,
Classic priority. Okay. Nigel?
classic something.
Okay.
Nice.
Classic something.
Perfect.
It's a
Perfect.
downgrade.
Okay, cool. So just bear that in mind. Obviously, as we kind of go through the presentation, you know, what applies to me, what doesn't apply to me, and hopefully you'll have clarity at the end of the session how your specific plan also works.
Classic saver.
Classic saver. Okay, fabulous. So something also to mention that on your banking app, the Discovery Banking app, you can have access to our travel benefits there. And then the normal Discovery app is almost like a landing page where you'll see a summary of all of your Discovery profiles. But a lot of it is moving into the kind of individual product apps. So now we have Bilderberger coming for you shortly. But now we're going to build the blocks on Discovery Health and try and understand by breaking it down as simple as possible. So our role as advisors is to make sure that you understand what plan you're on, how it works, and we do have a very, very comprehensive video that Shirley has recorded where she goes through these, and that's also available on our website. Okay. So when we start with hospital benefits. That is your core plan. Anyone is on a core plan. Some people will call it a hospital plan because you only have cover once you are admitted into hospital. Nothing before that, possibly nothing after that, am I right? So that gives you unlimited hospital coverage, cover for chronic medication and conditions, and then a screening benefit. So doing your vitality health checks, mammograms, pap smears. Maybe you can let us know some more stuff on the screening and prevention.
So anything screening and prevention, your blood pressure, cholesterols, as Lindsay said, mammograms, bone density, your hearing, your vision tests, everything that you have to go for a yearly checkup on will be included.
But how do you claim? I go for bone density regularly and they've never
Yeah.
made it.
So you can submit it. We can help you submit it. They'll pay for the test. They won't pay for the consultation.
That's all I want.
Yeah.
But not the consultation. That's my choice.
That's correct. Yeah.
So if you guys don't mind, I think we'll try and keep questions just to the end so we can keep to time. And then we're all going to be here available to answer all of your questions. Okay. No? Then we move on to our saver plans. So these are plans like a core plan, but now we have a medical savings account linked to that plan. The medical savings account is where all of your day-to-day benefits are going to come from. So if you go to the dentist, if you go to the optometrist, if you buy contact lenses, medication,
GP.
everything will come from that savings. Okay, unless it's covered under chronics. Okay.
Just on the chronics, while we
Yeah.
are on the chronics, I pick up a lot that people don't leave a 30-day period between their chronic pickups. So for most of you, I have explained this. If you do not leave that 30-day between pickup, it will pay from your medical savings. It will not pay from the chronic benefit. As soon as you allow that 30-day in between your chronic pickups, then it will pay. So if you pick it up on the 1st of every month, keep picking it up on the 1st of every month. Because then you have a 30-day window between the two pickups. So you'll always see if you pick it up on the 29th, where you always pick it up on the 1st, it will have a rejection code saying that you filled your prescription too early, and then it rejects and it pays from your medical savings. And that eats into your savings that could be used for something else.
Okay.
What I object to on that is if one is going away on holiday.
Pardon?
It's not the system to be.
What do you mean for February?
Everybody's not doing this.
So it'll be that the month end.
Okay.
Yeah.
And if you're going away, if you're going overseas, we have that you complete to have an early prescription, which it's a 1-pager. And then if you're going to Durban or Cape Town, there's a Clicks or a Dischem, you can just arrange.
No, I was thinking regarding when, you say you're going overseas.
Yeah.
Or
There's
right in the point where you literally.
Yeah, so there's a form to complete where you get it upfront. Okay. All right, then we get to our comprehensive plans. So the comprehensive plan, the comprehensive plan has something called a self-payment gap. And then an above threshold benefit. And I'm going to let Estelle explain this because she does it better than I do.
Okay, so once you've depleted your medical savings, so you have your pot of savings where all your day-to-day come out, and if that goes to zero, you're in your self-payment gap. That's where we all get frustrated in the middle of the year. You are starting to pay stuff out of your pocket and you don't know why nothing is being paid for. So as soon as you bring that self-payment gap back down to zero, the above threshold would kick in, and then out of Discovery's money, then they'll start paying as per normal, your day-to-day, your doctor's visit, dentistry, optometry, and so forth. As you know, the comprehensive plan's above threshold benefit from this year is now capped. So depending on how many dependents you have on your membership is going to depend on what it's capped at. So if you need to know what the capped amount is, I think you can give us a shout and then we can individually tell you what your capped amount would be for the year.
And just to reiterate that the executive plan still has an unlimited above threshold benefit. This is the comprehensive option, this pyramid that we've discussed, not to confuse you. We then have to decide on an essential core, an essential saver, an essential, comprehensive doesn't exist anymore.
No.
Or a classic comprehensive, a classic saver. Classic plans on the Discovery platform are covering you at 200% of the Discovery Health rate. The Discovery Health rate being a rate that we believe, or Discovery believes, doctors should be charging. So we're covering 200% of that. Essential is only 100%. Okay, so if you're on an essential plan, we would probably suggest looking at a gap cover. Speaking of gap cover, it's just reminding me that you'll note we haven't actually mentioned the priority plan. The reason for that is we don't usually recommend it. And that is because there are quite severe co-payments for certain procedures, hip replacements, knee joint replacements, 20,000 Rand upfront. So if you are on a priority plan, please chat to us. It might be where you're comfortable, and that's fine. But then we need to be looking at various gap cover options. So Discovery has its own gap cover, but Discovery gap cover will not cover those co-payments. Okay. Clear. So, sorry, something else to note is that with regards to your medical savings, how that's calculated. Medical savings on a saver plan is 20% of your premiums. And on the priority and comprehensive and executive, it's 25%. So that's where that comes from. On an essential plan, it is only 15% of your premium. We then have some plans where you have a network option. So, for example, a classic Delta saver, that's what I'm on. Classic Delta saver means that I need to make use of the Delta network of hospitals, which is a list of specific hospitals, day clinics that is available on the website. Then we also have a smart plan. So a relatively new plan to Discovery, I would say maybe the last 5 years or so. And that also makes use of network hospitals, but then goes further to suggest you make use of network doctors, smart network of doctors. So where do they find all those kind of doctors and stuff?
So on the Discovery app, the blue and gold app, if you click on the medical aid and you scroll all the way down, it will say find a healthcare provider. So no matter where you are in the country, it picks up your phone's location, and then it will tell you who the doctor is in a 5 to 10 kilometer radius, where you can find a doctor, optometrist, dentist, a hospital even that you can use that is paid for by the smart network.
Something that's also very important is that the end of the year, so now effectively until the 31st of December, you can upgrade your plan for January of next year. You cannot upgrade your medical aid throughout the year. Those are just the medical scheme rules. You can, however, downgrade at any time. Okay. Please, our office will, I'm saying please for Estelle's sake, we will help you with those downgrades. We'll show you how to do them online up until the 13th or so of December. Please don't phone Estelle at 10 o'clock on the 31st because people have. And she also has a life. And as much as she loves to help everyone, I think she deserves a very big break. So we also then have a key care range of plans. So the key care plans were introduced for lower income earners to effectively enter the medical aid market. And the price points are at such where they look at your income. So someone who's earning, let's say, below 8,000 Rand a month, they can have a slightly lower premium than someone who's earning 20,000 Rand a month. So it works on a sliding scale. The key care plans themselves have different options. So we have a regional start, which is very specific to certain areas and communities. Key care start, that is kind of a very entry level. Key care core, which is just hospital, like our normal core plans. And a key care plus, which is more comprehensive in terms of doctor's visits, casualties, certain specialists. So it is actually a really, really lovely plan if you fall within that lower income bracket. Good oncology.
Very good oncology benefit.
Yeah.
But if you're on the key care, you've got basic dentistry and optometry, very, very basic dentistry and optometry.
Something we also just like to mention, and I think for most people who are employing domestic staff, you want something for them in case something happens to them, emergencies, doctors, etc., etc. Discovery does have a solution, which is flexi care for household employees. So premiums are around 400 Rand a month or so. That gives individuals access to certain day-to-day care. So here we've got unlimited GP consultations, basic dentistry, eye care, even maternity benefits. And there is a trauma benefit that you can add on top of that. So it is by no means a medical aid. It is actually a health insurance. So they have a certain amount, that's a cash amount that they can be hospitalized for. But most of the time, only in emergencies, and then probably transported to a government facility once stabilized. So a kind of nice hybrid at a very affordable price point. Okay. We then have a relatively new plan. Relatively new, sorry, a brand new plan, which is called the Active Smart. So it feeds off the structure of the smart plans that Discovery already has, where you have to make use of network doctors, network hospitals. However, this plan was created to really assist young individuals. So Discovery saw a gap in the market where those aged between 20 and 30 were not joining medical schemes from a pricing point, being kind of, how can I say, they're saying they can't afford it. So Discovery has come up with a kind of hybrid scheme whereby you have basic hospitalization, but for emergencies only, and as well as some day-to-day benefits. So very basic dentistry again, basic eye care benefits at our network partners. So it's incredibly important. There's no age limit to this plan, but we really do not recommend it for anyone who has kids or anyone who's thinking of having kids, because the maternity benefit is not as comprehensive as our other plans. It is really for those that are kind of in that early stages of just starting work, just earning an income, for them to get onto medical aid. There are a lot of exclusions on the plan as well. So I'm not going to go through all of them now, but just note that it is not necessarily a better option than what you are on now. Okay. And I think at this point, I also just want to ask Estelle to highlight something that we see a lot, which is a late joiner penalty and possibly even waiting periods.
True. So when people specifically go overseas, they cancel their medical aid thinking, oh, I'll join when I come back. So after the age of 36, we start charging late joiner penalties. It gets also, it's tiered. So between 1 and 4 years, for example, you pay a 5%. But longer than 15 years, Hannah, you get a 75%. So the longer you're off a medical aid, the bigger this percentage gap that you get charged on or penalized for not being part of a South African medical aid. So we have a few people that has a late joiner penalty, and then they always go, so when does this stop? It's infinite. You are going to pay for it until you cancel the medical aid. And it's not a Discovery thing, guys. It's a council of medical schemes. So even if you join FedHealth, Bonitas, Momentum, any other medical aid has the same exact late joiner penalties as Discovery.
Yep. Oh, and waiting periods.
Yes. So waiting periods, if you do cancel your medical aid and you rejoin, depending on the break, if you have more than 90 days break, you'll have a 3-month waiting period, a general waiting period. And if you have a pre-existing condition, they can put a 12-month waiting period on your pre-existing condition. So everything else will be covered except for that pre-existing condition. You'll have that 12-month waiting period.
Yeah. So you with the help of us, possibly need to make sure that you are on the right plan for your needs. Obviously, it needs to also fit your budget. And that is where we are there to help you find the best scenario that's going to suit you. And also to help you understand how do I maximize on some of these benefits that I didn't even know I had. And that is where Sal's our guru. She can read those claims transaction histories like it's Chinese or Chinese. And she knows exactly what's going on there. So really reach out if you are battling with something or a claim that you're battling to get paid and things like that. We really will try and help. Okay. I'm just wondering, do you think, is the food ready or not? Should I pause now? Is it?
I think we feed everyone before we shop them.
So sorry.
Yes. Sure.
So, is it possible to suspend medical aid for a few months, like we can with an urgent active membership?
No.
No.
So what we do is, say for instance, you're traveling overseas for, let's say, 6 months, and you're going to live there for a while. What we do is we ask for a concession from the medical aid. We downgrade your medical aid down completely to the lowest income key care core plan. So that's going to cost you 1,400
something around there.
per month. So then you don't pay the higher premium for your full medical aid. Then when you, so in order for us to do that, we need your flight ticket as proof that you're leaving the country. Then when you come back, even in the middle of the year, if you can send me your flights that you're coming back, we will upgrade you back to the plan that you were on before you left the country.
And I think, sorry, just to interrupt you there, Estelle, this is only for long periods of time. So this is not for a 1 month or 2 month. It's for, you're going to be out of the country for maybe a year or if not longer. That's where the concession comes through.
Yeah, so that helps you just to keep your medical aid status. So when you come back, you don't have those late joiner penalties and waiting periods.
Okay.
No.
I think oh, sorry, Dennis, yeah.
If you are saying a plastic sailor,
Yes.
you have a colonoscopy or a scan, is that out of hospital benefits or is that out of?
So depending on if you do it then both. So on all our plans, your colonoscopy, gastroscope, CT scans and MRIs has a co-payment. If you have a gap cover will refund you the, but the remainder of the account will pay from the hospital. So your first, if say for instance, you're going in for a colonoscopy, your first 3,750 is payable by you, not by the medical aid. That's claimable by gap cover. Gap cover will refund you on that. The remainder of the hospital account will then be paid from your hospital benefit. But also remember, if you do a colonoscopy and a gastroscope all in one day, your co-payment shoots up, sometimes between 6,000 and 8,000 rand for the co-payment. But gap cover do refund on that. Yes.
I'm starting gap cover. Would be more beneficial for me to be on discovery gap cover.
Depends what plan you're on.
We can do a comparison for you.
Yeah.
The attractive thing is that you don't have paperwork with Discovery. So you're going to submit your accounts to Discovery, or the hospital will submit it, or the doctor will submit it. And then as soon as claims has finished their portion, they've paid their part and declined the rest of the claim, for instance, they'll automatically send it through to gap cover.
Yeah.
A lot easier.
But if you're on a priority plan, stick
Yeah.
with Stratum. I think we'll do one more question because then the food is ready.
Yes, can I just ask?
Sorry, Leslie had her hand up. Sorry.
So there's something called the Wealth Fund.
Yes, we're going to get there.
Shall I?
Wait, there's more. Yeah, maybe. And then please do ask your question then.
Mine.
Okay. All right. So please, guys, go top up your drinks and yeah, grab some food.
And build a burger.
Build a burger.
Hi, everybody that's online. I think while Estelle and Lindsay are going to go and have a quick bite to eat, are there any questions from the people online that you'd like me perhaps to just go through and give you some answers to while they are filling up their drinks and having something to eat. Yeah, please let me know if there are any questions. Unmute yourself and let me know, and I'm very happy to answer some personal questions or individual questions at this point in time. Anybody got any questions? Come on, Ray, I can see you there. You must have one question or at least two. Des, anybody? Yvette, any questions?
Ray doesn't have questions. Thank you, Shirley.
Ray, you've got a very deep, husky voice. Hello, Jacques. How are you doing?
Did you sort out the paperwork there?
No, I'm in Ireland. Which paperwork?
No, the beneficiaries. On Ray's
No.
policies.
I will be sure to go online and go and check and find out and see.
Thank you.
I'll put that on my list to follow up and check for you, Jacques, Ray. No worries.
Nothing at the moment, Shirley.
Perfect, super. I don't think they'll be too long while they usually, so what we've done this evening, slightly different to our normal sort of last Thursday of the month club, is we're building a burger similar to what we would do on the medical aid side. You can have various components, and I think what tonight is about is to explain to everybody that there is an opportunity to upgrade, downgrade, check to see what the needs are, both financially as well as medically, and then obviously look to find a solution to meet that need today. Those needs change. And as those needs change, we can obviously upgrade, and we can obviously change, and we can obviously downgrade, upgrade, and make necessary changes at the right time in the year. Which I think is quite critical for us to remember. And tonight is about that building blocks, understanding that like a burger, we can add things, we can take things away as our needs and our preferences work. I can see, Helene, you've got your hand up. Is there a question you'd like to ask?
Yes, I came in a bit late, and I wondered if what was discussed before the key care series.
What they had been discussing was primarily the Candid 2020, the practice, has a website. On that website is quite an interactive video that explains the building blocks of the medical aid choices. So if there is anybody who's wanting to understand how and what choice of medical aid they can choose, to access the website to go and have a look at that video. To mention the fact that there are apps that are available for you to access information on the Discovery system that would obviously make life a lot easier for you. Website access, app access. Everybody over the age of 18 should have a username and a password on the Discovery system, giving them access to very relevant information on their plan, on how and where to find information, on how to understand how the claims have been paid, any questions that may be relevant at that point in time. They had also mentioned the fact that there is a new plan that has been introduced this coming year, 2025, and that's the Active Smart Plan, which is geared more for your younger generation. Typically, I would say your school leavers, university leavers, potentially up to an age where they are starting to potentially look to start a family, where there's not typically health concerns. However, they want access to private hospitals within a network of hospitals for emergencies, accidents, injuries at sport, etc., things like that.
I did see, I was on at that stage, but where do I find this video, you say?
So Candid 2020 is the website. I will send the
Candid.
link. Candid, Candid, the number 20 and then the word 20. As the talk progresses and they come back into the discussion, I'll find the link for you, Helene, and put it into the chat.
Okay.
And then you can go and actually link onto that. And obviously, then listen to it in your own time, stop it, start it again. It is slightly outdated in the sense that some of the changes that came through this current year have not necessarily been described, but it gives you a very good overview of the classic, the essential, where a smart fits in, where the Delta network fits in, etc. So I'll send that through on the chat for you to have a look at. All of these last Thursday of the month club discussions that we have, we record them, post them on the website under our blog section for clients to go and listen to after the event on topics of interest that may be retirement planning, how to maximize the vitality benefit, how to ensure that your insurance is up to date, why would you look to have a will in place, etc. So those are some of the topics that have been recorded and are available on the website if you need to and would like to go and listen to those recordings.
Under Discovery and only on the website or also on the app?
No, so these recordings that I'm talking about are on our website, Candid 2020.
Okay.
So they're on our website, not the Discovery website as such. The Discovery website has an incredible amount of information. And if you have the patience and the time to go through some of those sections within the Discovery website, you will find a lot of information. We, however, try to make it simple and try and place it into a simple form for our clients that we have relationships with, which is obviously what we do there.
Okay. Right, I'll have a look there.
Perfect. Keith, good to see you're on and could eventually link in. I'm glad to see you there. They have just taken a break to grab some snacks and some drinks quickly at the last Thursday of the month club. But they'll be back on and presenting, I would imagine, in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So bear with us. But in the meantime, answering any questions, if there are any specific ones, up until the time that they come back onto the system. Welcome.
Thanks, Shirley. Finally got through.
I'm glad you did. Persistence is a virtue. Thank you for continuing to try. There have been a few topics. I was just repeating them for Helene. There will be a recording available on the website, Keith, so you will be able to go and access that at a later stage just to catch up. The pertinent stuff that's coming are the changes and the increases for the year. So I think you've joined at a good time.
Okay, thanks very much. We'll talk to you later.
Pleasure. Any other questions from the other delegates on the team? I'm very happy to answer anything if there are questions. No questions at this stage. I'll continue to talk through and give you some little bits of information. And obviously, if there is something that comes to mind, let me know. But I think the big thing for me is to know that you have a team that is available to reach out to in order for them ourselves, myself, Lindsay, Estelle, to be able to guide and assist you in terms of where to find the information. Sometimes the answers are not necessarily going to be what you want, and we respect that. However, we're here to try and see, is it being processed correctly? We're coming across a lot of instances where the ICD-10 code on a claim for a doctor's invoice and the procedure may not necessarily match up to the diagnosis or to the hospitalization authorization. So it's very important that we monitor the claims to make sure that they're coming from the right section of the medical aid. What I mean by that is if you're in hospital and you are have been admitted, for example, for a knee replacement, for example, and one of the ICD-10 codes do not necessarily match up or link in to that procedure that was actually requested for authorization, the scheme may pay for it, but it may actually come out of your savings account and not out of the hospital benefit. So it's very important that you do understand and learn how to access the claims transaction history, how to monitor that, and we are here to upskill you in order to do that so that you can obviously ensure that the claims are being processed correctly there. Helene, you have a question again, I think?
Yes, for a big amount or like glaucoma that I must go for tests next year for cataracts and that. I asked them to give me prices so that I can see what is covered and what not. And Discovery Health can't give me the prices. They say only when the account comes in. So it makes it difficult to really plan or see if you need to budget or whatever.
I think I hear you, and I think it is a concern. And I think that what's important to know is that Discovery Health are in a position where if they said to you at the outset, Helene, here is your quote, here's your claim, we'll cover A, B, and C. Often there are circumstances where there are additional requirements, where there are changes, where the circumstances on the day happen and change. And that's where it's very difficult. So Discovery are very cautious to manage your expectations that everything is going to be paid. They so as a result, they say they can't tell you for that reason. And I understand the frustration as a member where you're going, I just want to know. I think what's important is to have the conversation with the practitioner that's going to be doing the procedure, to ask them, are they charging Discovery Health rates? If they are, then the chances are that the scheme will cover them and they'll cover it in full. If they're not, that's where gap cover would come into the equation. And again, the health scheme is very reluctant to say we'll cover it. We won't, we will, because there could be so many varying circumstances. And that's the reason for it seeming vague when you have a quote and you ask the scheme, will you cover it? Between the scheme, the practitioner, and then yourself and ourselves in terms of understanding what the scheme would pay for is where we need to manage that. What you need to know is that if it is a medical reason that is justified, that is necessary and beneficial, with the necessary input to the health scheme, with the assistance of the doctor, 90% of the time, 99% of the time, we actually get it paid. So I think in your instance, go in with the confidence that the scheme is going to pay at Discovery Health rates. If your practitioner is charging at Discovery Health rates, tick, we're good to go.
I think so.
And then for all intents and purposes, you should not have a problem for that procedure, Helene. Sadly, you're not going to go in knowing that. But I can give you the assurance that if it is a legitimate claim and that everything goes and gets processed correctly, 99% of the time we will get it covered and paid. There may be some admin work that needs to be done in the background.
Yeah, the thing is that glaucoma is a chronic or a PMB. I can't remember which one. I think is chronic. And then cataracts isn't covered under it, they say.
Cataracts and glaucoma are covered under the scheme, and I stand corrected, but
No,
as
I
a
mean under the
PMB.
PMB, under the
Mm.
cataracts isn't covered under the PMB for glaucoma.
So for those that don't know that are listening to the call, a PMB is a prescribed minimum benefit that is governed by the Council for Medical Schemes, that says all schemes will cover those procedures if they are seen to be a PMB. It sounds like the team might be coming on. Estelle, Lindsay, are you ready to continue?
Hi, Shirley. Yes, 5 minutes and we're going to get going.
Okay, no problem. Stop me when you guys are ready,
Okay,
and you
will
can
do.
continue with pleasure. I
Okay.
hope everybody is building the best burger possible, but looking after their waistline and their cholesterol and all of the good things.
I don't know about that, but they're all having a good time.
Oh dear. Helene, I think what we can do is take your question offline. Very happy to have a discussion with you and just see where we can guide and assist you with your glaucoma and the on upcoming treatments.
Yes, and also I have, what is it, for clots in the lungs, pulmonary PMB. And they also must go for blood tests. And now apparently blood tests is not covered under the PMB, only certain ones. So the doctor said, no, it goes against savings.
Yeah. And therein lies the communication between your doctor and the scheme. There is certain blood tests that won't be covered. And the reality is that blood tests can become quite expensive. So it's to try and manage
Thank
that
you
on an
everyone for your
ongoing
patience
basis.
for the online
Helene,
viewers.
I'll connect
We are
later.
going to get
Thank
started.
you.
Okay. Thank you.
Sorry to rush you guys back, but we know some people want to get home and things like that, so we don't want to take up too much of your time. There probably will be still a lot of food left over, so please feel free to have another on your way out. Okay. Okay, perfect. All right, so now to kind of start the reason why we're here, I just want to double check that you're seeing the right thing. Yes. Okay. So something that's incredibly important to Discovery and should be important to all medical schemes is sustainability. So if you are a member of the scheme that has collapsed, which I think we even have someone here who was a member of the scheme that imploded because they did not have enough reserves and had an older membership base. So sustainability is incredibly important to Discovery. Something that you should be excited to know is that Alexander Forbes did a survey and found that Discovery was the most sustainable medical aid for the long term in terms of funds, but also membership. So having younger members and not necessarily only older members. Okay, so the nice little yellow line on the left-hand side just shows that year on year, Discovery has come up tops in terms of the sustainability reports. I don't know if any of you know anyone on CSWare Discovery Health, but they're currently under curatorship because they have an aged membership and they are battling. So put them in contact with us if they need another medical aid. All right, now we're getting to the nitty-gritty. Where does this 11% increase come from? So we've, okay. Sorry. We have about 4% coming from medical inflation. So not only just medical inflation, but doctors increasing their rates. They increase it every year. Medical supplies, medication, etc. goes up every year. We then have supply side increases and as well as demand side. So demand side is the larger one there. And this is what we find is you build a new hospital, like there's apparently a new fancy one in Umhlanga, and it's full. But it was never there before, and we've not had that many members increasing. So as soon as a new hospital or new medical practice becomes available, it is used. And that leads to us having to obviously cover a lot more procedures, doctor's fees, etc. Good news is that by all of you managing your risk factors, like your chronic medications, your health checks and things like that, we're able to reduce that overall increase by, I think it's 0.8%. And Vitality being an incredibly powerful tool that Discovery has that allows our members not to have such a high increase by 1%. So we can see in our data that we have a healthier membership than some of the other schemes. And that is where the reduction from Vitality comes from. So that then leaves us with a range of about 7.4 to 10.9% plan dependent. Okay. So it might be a bit small for some of you, but most of our clients are on a smart plan or a saver plan. And the smart plan has an increase of only 7.4%, which is pretty low. And the saver has an increase of about 8.4%. Your plans where there's a higher utilization, your classic comprehensive, with your older members, that does have a higher increase. Okay. I also just want to draw your attention to the right-hand side of the screen, which shows Discovery in orange compared to other medical schemes' average increases. So it's not the highest. You've got Scheme E, which has a 13.75% average increase. Ours is at 9.3% average across the plans. Okay, so we are luckily not in the worst situation, and that is through managing risk factors of clients and as well as Vitality. Okay, so that's really all I have to say on increases. We'll move on to more exciting stuff now. We have some new benefits. So a new benefit for maternity, where we have access to an app called Parent Sense, and you'll have a free subscription for 18 months. And that allows you, it's an app where you can track sleep habits, growth, etc., etc. There's also a menopausal benefit. So again, partnership with Stella to give you some more enhanced benefits there, as you know, every woman will go through menopause. Again, I'm just really giving a high level explanation of these benefits so that, you know, if you do have questions, you can come to us and we can give you more information on how that all works. Okay. Discovery has also launched a depression risk management program. So this is really there to identify individuals that might be at risk of a mental health diagnosis. So we have, as most of you know, probably on our Vitality platform, we have our mental well-being questionnaire. Those little nudges will possibly point you in this kind of direction so that if you need help, you can get help before it becomes an even more severe scenario. There's also a few changes. So, for example, scopes and scans done out of hospital now has a co-payment. Possibly another reason to get onto gap cover. And certain limits and deductibles are going up with inflation, as we would know. Okay, now we have our wealth fund. Some of you may know what this is, some of you may not, but I'm going to let Estelle explain the wealth fund to you.
So the Wealth Fund was introduced to give back to our clients. So we had a limit that we had 2,500 per person for adult members, and I think 1,200 for child dependents. But in order to unlock your Wealth Fund, you had to go for your finger prick, your health check, like we call it a Vitality health check. But even if you're not on Vitality, go and do the finger prick, unlock the Wealth Fund. It's money for jam. you're going to have that additional money that you can use for your screening and prevention. So that mammogram we spoke about earlier, the mammogram is paid from screening and prevention, but the consultation is paid from your medical savings. Now that consultation can be paid from your wealth fund. So it's money that is well spent. The finger prick can be done here at our office the first Saturday of every month.
I was going to say, to interrupt her, we have a wellness day on Saturday. If anyone needs to come and do some last minute vitality health checks, fitness assessments,
online assessments.
we do have some availability on Saturday if you'd like to come through for that.
And then if you can't make Saturday, any Discim and Clicks also does the finger prick.
That has a nurse there.
That, yeah, if they have a nurse, they'll do the finger prick and then they'll upload it and that would unlock your wealth fund. The only way to check your wealth fund is to go onto the website. You log in with your username and password, and in the corner where it always gives you, this is your medical savings, this is your self-payment gap, above threshold, it will tell you there if your wealth fund has been unlocked or if it's still locked. But that can only be viewed on the website.
And does this benefit expire still?
Yes, it does. At the end of this year, so use it or lose it. It's money that you can be using doing some screening and prevention tests this year and earning your vitality.
Sorry, and Leslie, I did say I would get back to your question.
Thank you.
Is that it?
I thought I'd activated my wealth fund in about June. I can't tell you the exact date. I went to Quickstep. She submitted everything online, and after that, about a week later, I did the mammogram of the bone density and all the rest. And I noticed on one of my statements that it just says, you know, you haven't used your wealth, and it must have all come out of medical savings. Can I go in and reverse all that?
I don't think they will.
Is it just you on the membership?
Just me, yeah.
Because, sorry, something else to note is that everyone on the membership needs to do their vitality health check to unlock it.
Send it to me. Let me have a look at it.
What did I see?
Your claims,
Where you saw that you haven't used it and your claims, where it's paid from. Oh, yeah, you can pull it from the website. So
Yeah.
you can pull a claims transaction history from the website. So maybe email it to us and then we'll just have a look at it.
yeah, Yvonne. Yes.
Wealth fund started COVID time, didn't it?
Just after COVID.
So
After COVID.
January 2023,
Once you use it,
it's gone.
it's gone.
The once off.
Yeah.
But we have good news coming.
So hold
Stick
on.
around. So the good news is that Discovery have created something called a personal health pathway. So this allows you to, if you manage your risk factors, so on health and exercise, you qualify for a monetary reward or a reward in the form of an instant reward or Discovery miles for managing a health risk that's been identified. And then on the exercise side, you can get an extra play on your game board every week, which some of us love. So how this will work is, for example, you are on the diabetic care program, and it will apply for everyone. You don't have to have a condition. You will get small nudges to say, have you done your pap smear? Okay, bing, there you go. Have you had your mammogram, etc. And not only does that give you a reward, that adds money into your personal health personal health fund, which is effectively replacing the wealth fund. So you have the ability, depending on what plan you're on and depending on the family structure on the medical aid, you have the opportunity to actually create your own wealth fund. So what is amazing about that is that doesn't only have to be used for screening and prevention. Can be used for all day-to-day benefits. So if you have, let's say you are on the saver plan and you are a family membership. Okay, you have a limit of 10,000 Rand. You've done your mammogram for the year, you've done your exercise required, and now 500 Rand has gone into that fund for you to use up to a max of 10,000 Rand. So you are in charge of building that fund up by these nudges that you will get to manage your health better and exercise.
But this is all on the vitality.
No,
No, under the
This is-
medical aid.
even if you don't have vitality, this is Discovery introducing the, how can I call it? The idea and the science behind vitality to incentivize individuals to manage their health.
And remember, your medical savings rolls over to the following year. So the more you can build up this fund and get your claims paid from this fund, the more you're saving your medical savings and building that up, because they roll over to the next year.
And all your claims will first, when you submit, let's say you go to the GP, it's 500 Rand. They will first try claim it from your personal health fund. If there's nothing in there, then it comes from your savings or from your pocket. So,
And the people on the core plan, you now have the opportunity to also build your own medical savings in your personal fund, to also go to the doctor and get that paid from the personal
Yeah.
fund.
Core and Smart, because Smart has limited day to day, but yeah.
True.
You know, how to actually.
So we will do probably a whole session just on that, a bit of a recording to send out to you. You will also get communication from Discovery with an email and guidelines. And this is also going to be on the new Discovery Health app. So this is also only launching next year. So you will get communication once it is available for you to use.
And it will be on there.
Yeah.
And that's only if you're on Discovery Bank.
No,
No.
it's a Discovery Health app. So you only have to be a member of Discovery Health. Okay. So that is it on the medical aid side. We have a few enhancements on vitality. So people with paddle fever, it hit Discovery as well, or it hit vitality, shall I say. And you have the opportunity at various paddle ports to book 4 weeks in advance and to receive a 20% discount on your booking. So I think a lot of it is done on this app, like a Tectonic app or something, Tectonic, something like that. So you have that benefit. They've also launched a paddle gear benefit. So whereby you can get up to 50% off paddle gear items up to certain limits at Total Sports and Sportsman's Warehouse. And that you'll find on the normal Discovery app, the original app, blue and gold app. Okay. Just some other little vitality bits is Vitality Travel, which is powered through Discovery Bank, has now partnered with United Airlines. So the US was one area that they didn't really cover. We've now partnered with United Airlines. And also remember that vitality is central to Discovery. That is what distinguishes us from everyone else. And vitality gives you so much more than just these little discounts and things, especially when you have your portfolio with Discovery and you've got a life policy and you can qualify for the premiums paid back and you get a boost on your investments. So we love vitality, and you'll always hear us punt vitality because we've seen it work in action. Am I right, Meg? We've got Meg here, who's our vitality spokeswoman, saying that vitality actually changed her life recently. And she's so much more active and, yeah, hopefully leading a healthy, happy life. A very long one as well. Vitality still has a special offer, which is that it's free for the first 3 months. So you can join, give it a try. If you don't like it, you can cancel it. But if you do, you can obviously carry on that vitality journey. And just to reiterate that we are here to hold your hand through vitality. We know that it can be overwhelming. We know that there are certain things you need to do and make sure that that's active, etc., etc. That is why we have a wellness day every month on a Saturday to help you with that and to make sure you are maximizing on your vitality. So we don't want anyone on blue statuses, please. Only silver and above. Done. All right. And that is it from me. As I'm sure you kind of gathered, we do this every month. It's our last Thursday of the month club. For those who've seen it in the Lone Hill newsletter, we try and post it in there as well. And our topic for next month is show your money the world. So we're going to be talking about everything of offshore investing. We have dollar-based life policies, which are incredibly valuable, and we are the only people in the market to offer this. And also understanding of travel benefits. You know, do you know that you can get a Forex card through Discovery Bank where you don't pay transaction fees when you tap in the UK? So a lot of benefits there that we will dive into next month. And it'll be our last one. So you might get Christmas dinner. Just a reminder that all of these sessions that we do every month are recorded and they are on our website and under our blog section. So please follow us on social media, engage with us, ask us questions. We really are here to help. And we'll all be here to answer various questions now. If you have any, I think what we'll do, if you don't mind, is we'll let the online viewers go unless they've got their own questions there. But maybe we can take some of the questions offline. Happy with that? Yes. Awesome. Thank you all so much for your time. We really appreciate it. Thank you. Just want to see if there's any questions. Yeah.